Welcome back to the podcast. Today we are talking about emotional, spiritual, and environmental clutter. More specifically, why decluttering gets so damn emotional and how old priorities actually will turn into clutter. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Flora, certified simplification coach and 7-time author. And for over 28 years, I've been helping women like you align into a life and a business that you are wildly obsessed with by helping you clear out the 9 types of clutter, keeping you from enjoying the life that you have worked so damn hard to build. Please subscribe, follow this feed, and hit that notification bell so you know every single time an episode is released. Now, if you have been following along here on the podcast and here on YouTube, you have noticed that over the last several weeks, we've been doing a series of videos where we've been talking about why your goals collapse often after the first of the year, why when you sometimes do less, why it feels unsafe to do so. We also talked about how your attention is being drained and fragmented and pulling you away from what you really want to focus on and what you really want to pay attention to. And we've also been talking about why motivation is not the real issue. Each of these episodes have been peeling back another layer of why the change that you want to create in your life has been stalling, even when you're doing all the right things. So today we're talking about that question that comes after, now that you know that your energy is being depleted, now that you know why your time is being overloaded, now that you know why and how your attention is being fragmented, then the next question kind of becomes, so why is doing this still so hard? Why is decluttering the things that I know I'm ready to clear in my life still so damn emotional? And the answer is not more discipline, it's loyalty. So, and this is a kicker that a lot of people really don't see, simply because it's just kind of flying under the radar. You're not failing to let go because of, again, lack of discipline or anything else. What you're doing is you're actually being loyal to priorities that no longer fit your life. And that loyalty, especially the unconscious loyalty that you have to yourself and that past version of yourself, is so very powerful. Now, most people think that clutter sticks around because, they're being sentimental, or maybe they're being indecisive, or maybe you just don't have enough time to focus on decluttering this room or that room. Yeah, that's usually, some of those reasons are valid, but that's just a surface level. That's kind of hiding what's really happening. And what's really happening is that you're still living among the objects and the commitments and the environments that were built by a previous version of you. A version of you who needed to prove something. A version of you who maybe was surviving and not really choosing. Maybe a version of you who was aligned to responsibilities in your life that maybe those responsibilities no longer exist. And without realizing it, you've stayed loyal to that old version of yourself instead of kind of updating your surroundings to that new version of yourself that's in the now, instead of living in that old historical version of yourself. So this is the part that surprises a lot of people when they're decluttering, is that when you let go of something, all of a sudden, randomly, maybe you feel guilt, or maybe you feel sadness, or maybe you start to feel resistance to something and you're like, I was not expecting this. Like, where is this coming from? This is crazy. And it's not just releasing an object that you're doing. What you're doing is you're releasing the old identity or the old role or that old promise that you made to a different version of yourself that was in a different season of life. That's emotional. That's spiritual. That's environmental. Like these are the 9 types of clutter. And the emotional clutter, the spiritual clutter, it really shows up as that environmental clutter that, oh yes, this is just glass, but maybe I got this glass after my divorce. And maybe this glass proved to me that I could be this version of myself that, whatever story it is. And then maybe 20 years have passed and now you have a different style and a different taste and maybe a different motif in your home. So you want to change from pink to blue or to green or sage or whatever color is, all the trend. And so releasing this glass, it's just a glass, but is it really? No, this glass represents a phase in your life and a version of you that you were so loyal to and so so much emotion and spiritual stuff that was tied into that, even mental clutter. All kinds of things can be tied up in something as simple as a glass. So the fact that you feel emotional when you're decluttering, that's normal. That is so normal. And I want you to allow yourself to give yourself some grace and say, okay, this is normal. This is absolutely normal. And take into account the version of yourself that brought in all of these things into your home. And I want you to recognize, what were my priorities when I brought all of these things into your home? Who was I? What was I dealing with emotionally, mentally, spiritually, environmentally, whatever. Really allow yourself to take a snapshot of time. And it might be several snapshots of time. So several iterations of your life and several iterations of that past version of you that typically you're going to be decluttering when you're now in this new iteration of yourself. People change every day, just like nature changes every single day. And we often outgrow our surroundings. We often outgrow the things that we have. But because we're trying to honor that version of ourselves, we put off and we delay making decisions of clearing out those old past versions of the stuff that we required during that time in our life. So of course decluttering is going to be emotional. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? And so when you recognize that when you're living with outdated priorities, all the things that you prioritized back in the day, this quietly costs you space in your home, energy in your body, clarity in your decisions, and a sense of peace that you can't quite name, simply because you are not that person anymore. Those things are not your priorities anymore. Every item tied to an old priority and an old version of yourself is quietly whispering, stay who you are. Stay who you are. And even if you consciously want to change, your environment is still voting for the past. This is why decluttering through force doesn't stick. You can't kind of logic your way out of loyalty, especially when it's loyalty to that past version of yourself that scraped and clawed and did everything in her power to get to where you're at. You can't organize your way past that identity. Until your priorities are updated, letting go of that past version of yourself is always going to feel like a loss instead of relief. So I want to ask you something and just notice what comes up. And if you feel comfortable, share it with me in the comments. What are you still holding on to because it once represented who you had to be? Not who you are right now, but who you had to be in your life. No fixing, no judging, just awareness. share this with me in the comments. Now, I want to share with you something. So I've been married and divorced 3 times. I've shared about it very openly. I consider every single marriage and divorce a success because I learned so much about myself. And during those marriages, divorces, raising my babies, all the things, I accumulated a lot of stuff. I also got rid of a lot of stuff. And there was a couple core pieces in my life that I acquired that were like a staple in my house. And I recently got rid of the very last one that I had while I was still married. And that thing represented such a deep commitment to the struggle of being a single mom, a struggle of just making it work, just putting on a happy face and just doing all the things to please everybody else, but also self-sacrificing myself. And when I released that object, which I was so terrified to do, what happened was it was a visceral feeling that came over me of like, I honored that version of myself and released it to the universe and was like, yes, I'm free. I can do whatever I want. Now, granted, you can do whatever you want now. Like you can get rid of stuff, you can buy stuff, you can do whatever. But it's these objects that we have, like I said, this glass, it's just a glass. Everything in life is meaningless. We assign meaning to every single thing in our life. And so the meaning behind that object was self-sustained. Like I put meaning onto that object. And because I chose to put meaning onto that object was harder emotionally, mentally, and spiritually for me to get rid of it than other objects, simply because the story around that particular thing. Once I released it, like I said, it was a visceral, tangible, like everything else just kind of disappeared in a good way. So what was your thing? What was your thing that you released? I'm going to post mine in the comments. And it's to, like I said, to anybody else, it's like, really? That was that big thing that you released? Seriously? Yes. I'm not a sentimental person, so I'm not usually attached to objects and things like that. But like I said, the most random things have sentimental value at times, again, because of who you were when you acquired and did all the things and whatever, which we just spoke all about. But give yourself grace, give yourself permission to recognize the struggle because it is real. I've been working with people for over 28 years and I have literally heard it all when it comes to the stories behind specific objects or around boxes of items, collections of items, or even complete rooms and homes of items. So allow yourself to recognize that if something feels emotional because you're trying to get rid of it, it's normal. And give yourself permission to feel all the feels. Now, some of you might be saying, well, this sounds an awful lot like sentimental clutter, which sentimental clutter then should be released last. Yes, but sometimes the most random innate object can surprisingly be sentimental and surprisingly be one of the reasons why you're having a hard time decluttering. So when you can call it out, again, in the comments, when you can call out that one random thing that you're still holding on to because it represented who you had to be, not who you are now, all of a sudden you can recognize it and say, okay, this object represents the struggle that I've been feeling around my decluttering. That is so freeing to be able to put all of that energy and all of that emotion into a specific object. And, you know, my private clients know that one of the things that I have them do is to find that one object that represents who they are or who they were, put it someplace of honor so that you can literally honor that version of yourself. And when you're ready, you will know when you're ready. When you're ready, then you can release that object and also bid farewell to that version of you, not from a place of anything other than gratitude and appreciation for what that version of you went through, what they experienced, all the lessons that they learned in that iteration of your life. And releasing that one object, it helps exponentially, literally exponentially, to be able to release so many, if not all the other objects in your home that are bringing up all of the emotions. Now, letting go gets easier when you can stop asking yourself, do I really need this? Because yes, people will always find a way to say, yes, I need this. I want you to start asking, does this still belong in the life that I'm actually living? When priorities update, clutter releases itself. Letting go isn't about being ruthless. It's about being honest with yourself. It's about being honest about what season that you're in, what's complete in your life, and what no longer needs your loyalty, even if it's the past version of yourself. That's where this relief lives. If you want my direct help with this, click the link below that says work with me. Let's talk. Let's connect. Again, thank you so much for watching today's video. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this with anyone who you think might need to hear this today. I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah. Bye.